Yeah guys, how's it going? So this is another Huntress gameplay on the MASSACRE series. Been a while since I don't play Huntress. I was actually I was playing a lot of another game, Days Gone, recently. So this is like my first game sort of after coming back to DVD, right? I was gonna do my rituals and whatnot. And I also not only on my like it's like my return game, but after a while without playing. But I was actually I got used to the sensitivity on the other game, right? So coming up here and playing at max sensitivity again, you know, doesn't help. I don't know if it's that apparent, but maybe in this match you'll be able to tell that I'm not that used to the sensitivity that I once was, because I kind of didn't play for a while. But yeah, overall still good enough, I suppose. Even when I make mistakes, it's usually good enough to win the game. Yeah, I like I said on other videos, I usually prefer playing Trickster. Kind of like that first hatchet that you saw me hit on the Yui, I think it was. Kind of annoying that you have to predict the juke with the Huntress, right? Because the thing doesn't come out of her hand fast enough to the survivor can, like, you know, make a sudden turn at the last millisecond and the thing will completely whiff. You know, the hitbox is not wide enough to prevent that, especially from long range. So it's kind of annoying, but Trickster, you know, if you miss, you just have like 30 more knives. So it's more like a time effect, you know, damage over time, than a one shot like Huntress is, you know, type of damage. So it's a little more pleasing to me, I guess. You don't have to kind of get cucked by something that you can't predict, right? Because a prediction, you know, even if you're smart and whatnot, you're good. Like, for example, that was a prediction right there. I thought she would juke to the left, but she didn't. She was just like running straight. And there's like no way you can know that. It's just like a prediction. You're gonna get it right sometimes, and you're gonna get it wrong another time. So that kind of annoys me, because it kind of takes. I feel like it takes the skill away. Not the skill, but like the merits, so to speak, right? Because like if you aim right, you should get the hit, right? There's no in between. There shouldn't be you aim right but you still miss, in my opinion. So it's kind of unfair, so to speak. So it just kind of makes it, at least to me, a little more fun than it would be to play Trickster, for example, where that factor isn't that much of an issue, right? But yeah, I don't like that. Nurse is a little bit is the reason why I don't even though I play very well, I don't like playing Nurse very much, because that prediction factor. Some of her blinks are like completely prediction. There's no way to guarantee that you're gonna hit the, you know, the hit or not. It's like a 50-50. It's just it feels like a luck game, you know. It's just not that fun to me. I prefer games that you win because you're good, you know, not based on luck, RNG and stuff like that. But yeah, guys, I was trying this build with, it's basically, if you couldn't tell, it's like I know a lot of hunters like to play art builds, but that's not what I'm trying to do here. I'm really just actually going for, you know, just information perks in general, so I can kind of know where the team is all the time. That was the idea there. I don't know, like, Face the Darkness, you know, doesn't work that well unless you're a stealth killer, but I figured I would try on Huntress, because I thought, you know, usually sometimes you get hatches long range and you just kind of drop the chase, so that would be a scenario where, you know, Face the Darkness would come into play. However, I don't think it works very well. especially like on chase, like right now when I'm looking at her, you don't really stop to look behind you to see what the others are, you know? Like, for example, right now it just gave me a notification of Hex Face the Darkness, and I wasn't even looking. So it's like, because I'm focused on the chase, right? So it just completely kills the perk. I just don't like it very much because of that. It doesn't last too long, the you know what I mean, the notification and whatnot. So unless you're already like prepared and looking at it, you pretty much just lose value of it. So yeah, like I said, it's better for stealth killers, but I just figured I would try on her. But I don't think I got any value this game with the perk, but you know, I suppose it could work on some rare scenarios. But like barbecue and rancor, they definitely work. Like, cause for the most part, you know, when they trigger, you're not actually chasing someone, so it's great. And Lethal Pursuer is just so not only to extend barbecue, which is kind of a bonus, a cool bonus, but also to get like a good early game, basically similar to the corrupt intervention, but in a more offensive way, right? Yeah, and also because corrupt intervention, you know, it kind of goes away after a while, whereas you know, lethal pursuer benefits you the whole match if you have another perk like with synergy, like barbecue, for example. You see, I think I got another notification there. I think it was the guy on the hook actually that gave me that notification. So yeah, here I have a lot of pressure, and I decided to capitalize even more. I could have just hooked that person, but I figure, you know, I'll just win the game. So I just figure I would use that pressure to build even more pressure, right? Instead of just hooking her and basically losing all the snowball that I got. Right there, I usually like to hit the snow guys, because if they are inside it, it will actually damage them. It gives you a few extra points too. This isn't that much. That was a cuck as well. The little hitbox on the thing. If I aimed a little higher, it would have hit her. This was not a prediction. I could have reacted to that, like pushing the aim to the left. But I'm really not, at least in this game, not, especially having coming back for so long, you know, I wasn't that used to the sensitivity to do that. But yeah, those are just the few examples that make me not enjoy Huntress that much, especially because you have to reload. Like, at least if she didn't have to reload, I guess it could be fine, you know, to have those predictions. It's like similar to Nurse was before the pre-nerf, right? She didn't have to, you didn't have to like wait for your second blink and stuff like that, because usually before she didn't have this recharge, like stupid recharge system that she has now, where like you cannot like just blink after blink. You have to wait to recharge every time you do it. It's really annoying, and she's so slow. Like, why? She's already slow. Why do you need that recharge? You know what I mean? But yeah, it's the same thing with her. That not just the predict, it makes the predictions even more like impactful, so to speak. The fact that if you miss them, you're kind of punished for it, right? With Nurse, if you miss the prediction, you have to wait for that recharge. It takes forever, and the survivor gets like 1 kilometer, 1 mile of distance on you, right? And then it's just kind of a toxic cycle, so to speak. Because to gain that range back, you need to, you know, waste your recharge again. You know what I mean? So like you waste the recharge on a prediction, and then you miss the prediction because it's not really your fault. It's just a prediction, and then you get punished, and you have to waste the recharge that you just waited to come back. You have to waste it again just to catch up, and then you're pretty much forced to another prediction, and just like, you know, this kind of toxic cycle where you're constantly having to wait on the damn recharge system. That's why she's almost unplayable without recharge add-ons, and everyone uses recharge add-ons on her. It makes her too add-on reliant. It's kind of annoying. But even before, like, she was perfect before. I don't get it why they decided to do this recharge system. It's just like, I guess they do on any other killer, so they're like, oh, why not do it in a Huntress as well? And they do it just for similarity's sake, you know what I mean? Instead of actually looking at the design and how bad it feels to play with that. And then I bet their excuse is like, oh, the excuse is you have add-ons, so just use the add-ons, right? Problem solved. The typical like band-aid fix for behavior. Yeah, Huntress. I'm not a fan of the blocker reloading too, so it's kind of the same thing. Like, you miss a prediction, hey, you kind of get punished and you have to reload now, especially if you're on your last hatchet. But for the most part, if you're actually a good Huntress, that, you know, doesn't come into play that much. But I still think it's bad design, right? I think you can still keep the killer just as strong without having that type of design in it. You know what I mean? It just wasn't necessary in my opinion. But yeah, that's game, I guess. 4K. That pressure on the hook that I decided to capitalize on when I got the second down, it really just pretty much won the game. Which is what most killers won't do, right? Because they just want to play nice or hook people every time. They don't slug, they don't camp, they don't stun or whatever. But I guess that was the Huntress game. Been a while. Pretty good shots still. I missed a few, but got very good ones. Other good ones as well. And yeah, this might be new her. That's why I like Trickster a little more, and I've been playing here a little more as well. And yeah, take care, guys. See you guys in the next one.